I'm the really indie music guy, and you might be able to hear behind me some beautiful music. That's Libby Rodenbough, and she's the artist we're going to feature today from Sleepy Cat Records. Let me turn this down. Here's her album. It's called Spectacle of Love. That's the one we're featuring today. I understand she's got another one about ready to drop. But there's the front. There's the back. Beautifully done. Very professional. I don't know if you can see the song titles there. But a little bit about Libby, and I'll try to keep it to a little bit. She has so many credits to her name. Her main gig is a band called Mipso, and you may have heard of them. They're pretty well known. They travel all around the world, have a huge following, and they're an excellent band. I encourage you to listen to them if you haven't heard them either. But Libby is a songwriter, singer, arranger in her own right, and this album is really the one that turned me on to Sleepy Cat Records. I've always been a fan of Libby. I've had the pleasure of even working with her before. But what grabbed me was, first of all, her songwriting, her voice. I only can compare it. You heard a little bit maybe behind me on the stereo. It sounds a little bit like Norah Jones, but it is Libby all the way. She's not a clone in any way, shape, or form. She is unique. But I listen to a lot of albums. I've told you that before. I'm an audiophile, I guess, whatever that means. I just listen to music too much and spend too much money on equipment. But to use audio boring terms, I was blown away by the sound stage of this album, the isolation of instruments, the depth of the sound. You name it, all the way across the board, it was an A++. And coming from a local label, I was intrigued. So I found out later that the gentleman that runs the label and organized it, started it and everything, his name is SHAMIR. And he did this album for Libby. He did, I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he did the mix and the mastering on this album. And he does it on a lot of others. He was highly involved in another artist that we featured a couple of videos back, Owen Fitzgerald. Now, Owen and Libby are totally different, their music, but they're totally great, either one. So I encourage you to listen to them. I like both styles. In fact, I like any style of music. The goal of this channel is to promote artists, or at least expose artists that you may not have heard of. You know, there's a jillion channels featuring, you know, famous artists and reviewing them and blah, 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 blah. These are people that personally, because of my relationship to the industry for many, many years, I believe don't get their just promotion. And that's just a product of the industry. That's going to happen anywhere. But Libby went to the University of North Carolina. I believe her concentration was in Southern Studies. But she played music all through college. She's a trained musician. I know for a fact that she went to one highly acclaimed music conservatory to study. And so she knows her instrument. Consequently, she can play anything. I saw her the other night with Alejandro Escobedo. She was invited to play in his band to back him up. And she was seamless. She was perfect. And she's a performer. When the other artists in the band were invited to take a solo, they just kind of sat there and did their little deal. And when Al invited Libby in true Jerry Lee Lewis style, she stood up, kicked the chair out from behind her, and just started getting down on that fiddle in Al's face. Thoroughly enjoyable shows. So catch her whenever she's playing a solo act, whether she's by herself or has her band. You're going to love it. But all of these songs Libby wrote on this album, and they're wonderful. They're wonderful. They will take you and put you in a mood like great music can do. We're going to interview all the artists that we've highlighted so far on this channel. The last video I actually did get to have an interview with David for, but we're going to do the same with Libby and with Owen and with other artists. And I would invite you, please, to, in your comments or get in touch with me and let me know of artists you think need this kind of exposure, that have the talent, but they're just not being recognized. And again, this has been happening in the industry since man first picked up a stick and beat on a rock. So I will travel anywhere. If they sound good, send me some information so I can listen to them, and we'll review them, and then we'll try to get an interview with them. But please listen to Libby. Give me some feedback on what you think, and I really, really hope that you'll give a thumbs up on this video, that you'll subscribe, and I'd love to hear your feedback. I've already gotten some good and critical feedback, and I need it. I'm new to this. I'm not new to this industry, but I'm new to this YouTube channel. So please, I encourage you to support it, because these artists need the recognition, and I'm totally dedicated to giving my time to do that. So you all have a wonderful, safe, fun, happy holiday season, and I can't wait to get back on here and feature another artist.